Hey there everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Viking Wizard here. So this video is going to be my end of the year video, and I'm going to show you my favourite album of this year, which is the best album that I think that's come out in 2023. I'm going to show you a lot of CDs as well of all bands that have come out. I struggled to do like a top 10 because there's too many good albums this year. This year has been thrown a lot of music at us, and I'm so happy. Next year is going to be a right blast, because so far I've heard Sabaton, I've got a new record coming out, you've got Saxon, I've listened to one song off the new Saxon album, it's fantastic. Judas Priest are releasing a new album, Nightwish have got a new record. There's that many bands releasing new material, and I absolutely cannot wait. So it's going to be a awesome year for 2024, but 2023, I've actually written down a load because I've got most of them on my bookcase, but there's a load here that are non-power slash symphonic bands that have released some good albums this year. So I'm going to go through them. Quite a few of these I've actually got in my collection, but there's one or two that I don't have physical, which I need to get physical. But Metallica released 72 Seasons. I actually really enjoyed that album. The amount of people that said it was this shit album and it was terrible, but they went on tour with that album where they'd done 2 nights. So it was a completely different set list every night. And I didn't go on that tour. I didn't do the download show purely because of obviously lack of funds and my personal bad experience with Download Festival. But they played 2 sets. Lux Eterna is an absolute banger off that album. So that was 72 Seasons, which was cool. You got Cannibal Corpse with Chaos Horrific, which I really enjoyed that album, thought it was a strong one. I've had a few friends ask me and just said, well, a few friends mentioned that they didn't think much to the album, and a couple of them saying it was their best album they've done, and I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was their best album they've made, but it's a cracking album, so I'd definitely give that a listen. Then there is Baby Metal with The Other One, which is the new project, the new album, which I thought was actually cool, and I quite enjoyed it. I know they're played in Wolverhampton, but the moment I went to get a ticket, it sold out because I would have gone. But I've had mixed reactions off friends for when saying like Baby Metal, because at first when I first got into them, I wasn't overly keen on them, and I was like, not my thing at all. And then I'd listened to them down the line, just still wasn't my thing. And then like, I think it was last year or just a year before, I actually listened to one of their songs, Give Me Chocolate, and it came up. It came on and I thought, oh, this is pretty good, who's this? And I realised Baby Metal, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So when I got their best of and got their back catalogue and thoroughly enjoyed it. Foo Fighters, But Here We Are. This was the last, their latest studio album. Obviously everybody was gutted about Taylor Hawkins, but they're back with a, I'm not sure who the drummer is, because I believe they've got a guest drum, a session drummer for the live, and supposedly Dave has done all the drums for this album, which I thought was pretty cool. Alice Cooper, Road. I actually haven't listened to that Alice Cooper album yet. I really need to get a copy of that in my collection. It did come up for pre-order on Amazon, but the reason why I didn't pre-order it, because I have a set budget. So I've got a set budget of stuff that I can buy, like vinyl CDs, and it was out of my budget. So I thought when I get available funds, I will be picking a copy up and giving a listen to his new studio album. Never seen him live, so I'd love to see Alice Cooper live. Then we have Obituary, Dying of Everything. I actually thought that album was pretty cool. A few of my friends said it was back to their roots and their old school, like the death metal roots, and I said I quite like it. So pretty sure I have seen them. I think I've seen them at Bloodstock, but I need to dip more into that band. So I got the album and gave it a listen and thought it was pretty good. So I thought I need to fully dip into their back catalogue. Then we have Saxon, More Inspirations. That's the covers album, because I'd already done a video on my YouTube channel of inspirations, and then I've seen the second one available for pre-order. So it's all just covers of all songs that Saxon have obviously took inspirations from, so like Sabbath, the Rolling Stones, Beatles, all that sort of stuff that they're into. Then we have Atrocity, Occult 3. I've not actually listened to that album yet, but I've got it digitally ready to listen to, and I need to get a physical copy. I need to add that to my collection, oh pardon me, and give it a proper listen. We have Uriah Heep, Chaos and Colour. I actually I've not listened to that album yet, but I do want to get a copy. I know they're touring next year because it's Judas Priest, Saxon and Uriah Heep, so that's going to be an epic concert with all three bands, so I must get a ticket and go to see that. In Flames, Foregone, which is a brand new studio album. I have listened to that several times. I did really enjoy it. I loved the melodies. I loved everything about the album. And as a couple of people said, that it was a really strong album, and I fully agreed with them. Then there was Subway to Sally, Him or Far. I listened to that album like twice, and it wasn't too bad, but it didn't grab me straight away. So it's one of them albums, because I've got a pile of albums, I need to go back to it, and I need to give that one several more listens and see if I can try get into it. Then there was Sirif Ungal, Dark Parade. Actually, beautifully strong album. I've chatted to a few people about it, and supposedly that was their last studio album, because they're meant to be hanging their boots up or something, which I really don't know. So I like it, and I thought, yeah, I needed to get a copy, and I gave it a listen. Really enjoyed it. Overkill, Scorched, which was their brand new studio album. I didn't mind the album. I thought it was cool. I just thought it's one of them that needs more of a listen to get into, because some albums I've listened to and they literally grab me straight in the testicles, and then there's other albums it takes like several listens. Because when it came to The Last Stand by Sabaton, I'd listened to that album. I actually thought the album, I didn't like it at all. I thought, I really don't like it. Then like several months down the line, I absolutely loved it, and it's one of my favourite Sabaton. But now we'll go through the Power Symphonic stuff that's come out. I've got a load here, as I said, a stack of stuff, but also Devin Townsend Infinity, the 25th anniversary. I've just literally unboxed that on my YouTube channel, and I gave it a listen, and it still sounds as good as it did back then. And then you get a second disc with like demos and stuff, so I'm just about to give the second disc a listen, because I'm curious about the demos and the 3 extra tracks that are on there, which is Sister Live Acoustic, Hide Nowhere Live Acoustic, and Man 1996 demo. They're actually on the original version, which I've got in my bookcase, and I've listened to them. So the extra tracks, the others, I actually can't wait to get into it. But as I said, I've got stacks of stuff to go through, which is incredible. So I can't wait. But I've listened to every one of these anyway, but I've got a load on the laptop, because I made a list of loads, because of 90% of these I have in my collection, and they're all on my bookcase and all in my pile, which needs to be sorted. So I grabbed whatever I could find at the moment, and I thought I'll just make a note of the rest on my laptop. But you had Love Bites Judgment Day from the Japanese extreme power metal band. They're virtually Japanese or female answer to Dragon Force, which are fantastic. I've seen them 3 times, and they're incredible. So if you ever get to see them live, definitely get to see them. The second time that I seen them, they were supporting Dragon Force on their Extreme Power Metal tour, and they were fantastic. New Dragon Force album coming out anyway, so I absolutely can't wait for the new Dragon Force. Then there is, actually I have the CD here, Twilight Force at the Heart of Winter Veil. This one is my second favourite album of this year. It is incredible. I've not been able to put this album down. I played the vinyl how many times, and there's a track on here which is The Last Crystal Bearer, which sat on for like over 10 minutes or something like that, and I think it's a masterpiece. I believe it's Alessandro Conti who's the vocalist. Let me just have a look at the book. I believe it was Alessandro Conti who is the current vocalist of Twilight Force, and that is, no, it's Alion, which is lead and backing vocals, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Twilight Force, A Heart of Winter Veil. If you haven't listened to that album, you've got to give that one a listen. If you like your cheesy power metal, and you like your, Dungeons and Dragons and all that sort of stuff, because this is based off Heroes of Might and Magic, which is a fantastic game franchise. So I'd definitely give that one a listen. We have as I said, Love Bites Judgment Day. Camelot The Awakening. Actually kind of enjoyed the album. The only thing is with Camelot, I've noticed when they play live and they play for the upcoming tour for this new album, they seem to only play, say, 2 songs or 3, if that, from the new album, and then it's all their back catalogue, which I know they've got a full catalogue out, but I just really want to hear quite a lot of the new studio album because that's what the tour is for. But I did quite like the album, thought it was cool. Then you've got Powerwolf Interludium. I've looked everywhere online and it says it's a compilation album. Then a few people say it's a brand new studio and suppose songs that are from various places. But I did quite enjoy it. I never got to see them on this album cycle with the tour, but they didn't play much. I believe they've like 2 songs, if that, off Interludium, which I think they need to play more of that live. Then we have Ad Infinitum, Chapter 3, Downfall, quite a good album. One of my friends seen him in Wolverhampton, should I say Manchester, because I was about to see them, and it was like Amaranth, Ad Infinitum, and I can't remember the other band, but there was 3 bands and they didn't get to go, which I was gutted. But that's another one that if you like your symphonic metal and you like operatic and you know your concepts and all that sort of stuff, then you need to give that one a listen. Angus McSix and the Sword of Power. Obviously, you know about Glory Hammer, the history of Glory Hammer. Well, I was a big Glory Hammer fan, and then all that stuff came out about Christopher Bowes and the members and all that sort of stuff, and I've not been able to listen to the band since. Well, they fired Angus McFife and Thomas Winkler from the band before that came out, and then all that stuff came out, so he's just called himself Angus McSix and made the you know, just released an album which is obviously follow on from Glory Hammer. I don't mind the album, thought it was alright. I thought it needs more of a listen, needs a proper listen, but a few people were raving about it, and I said if they come over to the UK, I will catch them on tour. But I thought it wasn't too bad. Then you have Frozen Crown, Call of the North. The title track is absolutely fantastic. I'm hoping they get to come over to the UK because they're incredible. And if you haven't listened to Frozen Crown, if you like Ancient Bards, them type of bands, you're definitely going to love Frozen Crown. Then Excalion, Once Upon a Time, wasn't too bad. I need to give that album like several more listens, but I did enjoy what I've heard. Saint Damon, League of the Serpent. I've only listened to 1 track off that album because I didn't realise there was a new album came out, and it's already out. I don't have a physical copy, so I need to get a copy of that in my collection. But I listened to the 1 song, really enjoyed it, and thought that's an album that's sort of slipped me at the moment, that I need to give that one a proper listen. Then we have Serenia, 1977. The album wasn't too bad. It wasn't in my top 10, but it was a good album, and for their catalogue it was a strong album for this year. Then it was Exandria, The Wanderers Still Awake. I quite like the orchestration and all of that sort of stuff on this album, which is incredible. If you haven't listened to that album, you do need to give that one a listen. I could rap on about most of these albums more, but because I've got that much to go through, and I don't want the video to be like something like 2-3 hours long. But then was Edu Falashi with Eldorado. I have listened to that album once and I thought it was good, but I thought I need to give it more of a listen, and it's one of the albums that are sitting there that I need to properly dip into it. There's that much stuff coming out that it's in my pile to fully dip into it, but it's one of them that I need to get into. Bloodbound, Tower from the North, incredible song. Drink with the Gods was my favourite off that album. I really hope, they said that, I was chatting to Patrick Berger on Facebook, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and he was on about a UK tour, and he said they're trying to get the thing for a UK tour. So hopefully they come to the UK and I can actually catch them, because I've seen them once and they were absolutely incredible. I really want to see them again. Warman, Here for None. I've actually done an unboxing video on that album, gave that one a listen. It's in my pile to dip into more because I need to give it more of a listen before I can actually fully make my mind up. Dark Server, Attack of Orion, is that how you pronounce it? I've not actually listened to that album yet. I believe I did an unboxing video of some of their stuff, so I've got to go and check to see if I've actually got it. If I haven't, I will get on and get a copy, but I've completely forgot it. There's that much stuff come out this year that I'm trying to remember everything. I completely forgot, so I thought I need to dip into that. Then there is Beyond the Black with their self-titled album Beyond the Black, which I thought was cool. And not many people enjoyed the album, but I thought it was not too bad. It was pretty strong. You just need to it needs time to get into it. But if you haven't listened to Beyond the Black and you like your symphonic metal, then you've definitely got to give them a go. Avaland, The Legend of the Storyteller. Now that album is a masterpiece. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. If you like your stuff like, say, Avantasia, and you like your metal operas and all that sort of stuff, you need to give that album a listen. It is incredible. You will enjoy it. Then we have Therion with Leviathan 3. I've not actually listened to that album yet. I've just literally did a unboxing video on Leviathan 3, and it's in my pile to listen to. So I was in the video, I said I was going to listen to it the moment the video finished. Well, I had my mother phoned me, and you know what some mothers are like, kept me on the phone for hours chatting about everything, and I hadn't got around to it. So it's there, and I'm going to give that a listen and give my thoughts on it. But part 1 and part 2 are incredible. Don't know if they're going to make a part 4 or if that's just the saga, but I know they did the album and it's just gone, the Beloved Antichrist, and that album was 3 CDs long, so maybe they just decided this one, instead of releasing it as 3 CDs, just release it as 3 different parts. Then there was Majesty, Back to Attack. That one is their last studio album because I've called it a day. They've decided they were going to call it a day for some reason, which is a shame, but it's back to what the sound that you like of the early Majesty, which I thought was awesome. It's a shame that they're not touring or nothing like that as far as I know, but I'd love to see them one last time. Seen them once, incredible. Then there's Delain, Dark Waters. I haven't listened to the new Delain yet. That's one of the albums I have not listened to, and I know they've got a new singer because of Charlotte Vessel left the band and there's a new singer. I haven't listened to that one yet. I've just not got around to it. I need to give that one a listen. But I haven't got the album, so I need to get that and add that one to my collection. Then there is Winter Age with Nakia, I think that's how you pronounce it. Don't have that album. I've got that in my basket on, I believe it was eBay or Amazon, ready to purchase. So when I get available funds, that's another one that's going to add to my collection, so I can give that one a proper listen. Then there is, oh, maybe jump, something in the kitchen just went south. Then we have Elven King, which is Reader of the Runes. I've actually been playing that album to and from work quite a lot, and I've recommended it to how many people. If you like your folk / power metal mixed with folk and all that sort of epic stuff and epic choruses and everything, you're definitely going to love that album. Then there's Elaine, We Shall Remain. I've listened to that album. If you like your symphonic metal, I've listened to that album once or twice, and I thought it wasn't too bad. I just thought it's one of them that needs another good listen. We have Apostolica, which is Anami Heretica. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I have not listened to that album yet. Their first studio album I thought was brilliant, especially No More Place in Hell. And I thought that was sort of similar to Powerwolf, which I thought was cool. The Powerwolf 5, but I need to get that album and I need to give that one a listen. Nanowar Steel, Dislike to Force Metal. They're touring at the moment, so I've heard they're doing a couple of UK dates, so I'm definitely going to go and check them out. I've listened to that album once on the way to work and it didn't get full attention off me, so I need to give that one a lot of more attention. We have Induction, The Power of Power. If you know Kai Hansen's son, if you love the band, I think the album's brilliant. I have got that one in my collection. I played it like 16 times or more than that, and it's on my Spotify rotation where I play it a lot. So if you want to give that one a listen, I'm not really going to give too much away with some of the albums of like what I think of them, because you need to check that one out yourself and make your own decision. Then we have Stray Gods, Olympus. I've actually played that like twice on Spotify and got it through, did an unboxing video, unboxed it, and I thought it was alright. I thought I just need to sit there and give that one a proper listen. But yeah, that's the ones on my laptop, all the ones that I've actually you know, ones that I need to listen to and ones that have come out this year. So we're going to go through all my CDs. There's quite a few CDs here to go through. You've got Code Red, Primal Fear. Actually, do love that album. There's a track on here and it is called Cancel Culture, which I thought was awesome, and obviously from the title you know what that's about. But if you like your German heavy / speed / power metal, and you will love them. If you like Iced Earth or early Iced Earth, and you like stuff like that, like Gamma Ray, Halloween, Gravedigger, that sort of stuff, then you've got to give that one a listen. I rate that as my third favourite album of this year, which was pretty incredible. Then we have Mark Hudson's first solo album, which is the lead vocalist of the band Dragon Force, the UK extreme power metal band. I actually quite like this album, and it just looks more like something like Japanese manga, one of the manga video games, and I thought it was a good album. And quite a few people said it took them a while to get into it, but one of my friends has actually said this album is his album of the year, which I thought was awesome. So that was cool. So that one needs more of a listen, but I do want to get a copy of that on vinyl. Then we have, I believe these are Dutch, I've probably got it wrong, but Dutch progressive power metal Pyramid, and this one is Bloodline. Now this album is a masterpiece. A few of my friends on Facebook have actually said it's a great one. I said Epitaph was a masterpiece, but and Out of This World, but this one's a masterpiece. I said it's a great album. It's a strong album. I really hope they come over to the UK. I really want to see these live. So you got Bloodline, Even in Your Gone, Fortress. Broken Arrow is my favourite track off this album. I love everything about the album, just start to finish, it's just brilliant. Then we have Jagdpanzer. This one is The Hallowed. Actually not bad. I've gave it several listens. I thought it's not a bad album. I added a couple of my favourite tracks to my Power Symphonic playlist and my favourites. So there's some good stuff on here. If you want to check them out, Beyond as one and Dark Descent. Well, Dark Descent is my favourite off this album, but the Beyond is one. Bound as one is one I'd highly recommend. But I'd give the whole album a listen if you like your US power metal. So definitely give them. They've been going for many years, this band. So I highly recommend giving them one a listen. Then we have another German heavy / power metal, and this one's Hellriot, which is a brand new Mystic Prophecy album. I have been playing this a lot, especially Demons in the Night. Oh, that song is just chef's kiss. And then you've got Hellriot, Unholy Hell, Metal Attack is another strong one. If you, I said, if you like your Primal Fear and you like your Gamma Ray and all that sort of stuff in your heavy / power metal, you need to give these a listen. They are incredible. I'd love to see these live, Mystic Prophecy. I really want to see them, so hopefully they get to the UK. Then we have, this one sort of isn't a power / symphonic, but it's The Sinner Rides Again, which is the new KK Priest. This is their second studio album. I've not been able to stop playing this, especially One More Shot at Glory. I've seen these at Bloodstock Open Air. They were incredible. Tim Ripper Owens his vocals is just, he's an incredible singer. Then the Sons of the Sentinel, The Sinner Rides Again, Keeper of the Graves. If you haven't listened to this, you need to get on this album. If you like your traditional metal and like your heavy / say Judas Priest, Painkiller era, or the the Jugulator and the Tim the Ripper era, you need to give that one a listen. Then we have Serenity. This one's Nemesis AD, which this one I was playing quite a lot in the car. I played it for like 2 months in a row. To and from work, not every day, but I played most of the album near enough every day because I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So you've got The Fall of Man, Ritter, Tod und Teufel, I think that's how you pronounce it. Nightfall is my favourite track off this album, and it actually features it's The Fall of Man actually features Roy Khan, which I believe he was the first vocalist of Camelot, but he guest features on this album, which is incredible. I couldn't believe he was on there. I thought, yes, such a great singer. And then we've got Church of the Scream, Scream Machine, another one. This one was my 4th favourite album of this year, which I thought was cool. I'm not going to say much about the album. I just recommend giving that one a listen because it's brilliant. If you like your heavy / power metal and or your straightforward heavy traditional metal, then you need to give that one a listen. If you're a fan of Maiden, I highly recommend giving them this a go because you won't be disappointed. Firestar, which is a brand new Iron Savior album, absolutely brilliant. I'd love to see these live. Me and my good friend Stewie have not been able to stop listening to this album because we both said it's incredible, especially in the realms of heavy metal. I could just literally sing that all day through the kingdom of thunder and steel, or just some lyrics. Me and Stewie have not been able to stop listening to that song, but we both said the album's brilliant. I've actually got a copy here. because I'm a sealed copy, because obviously I had a mix up with Amazon, so I've left it there, and when Stewie comes up I said he can have that as a late gift, Christmas gift. Then this one is Mistfall with Celestial Vision. My good friend Martin White just gave me this for Christmas, and it's I believe it's their debut studio album. Absolutely fantastic. I've played it twice. I need to give this loads more listens, but I love it. I picked out 3 songs that I love on this, and I've actually added them to my Power Symphonic playlist, so that's another band that you must listen. Then we have Hermitage, which is Darumus Eyes Part 2, which is a brand new Temperance album. I actually seen these, I believe it was February. I seen them in Wolverhampton. They were backing the one and only Tyre, and they were incredible. I believe they played a couple of tracks off this album, and then it was there like the hits, which I thought was cool. But yeah, Daruma, Glorious, Welcome to Hermitage, Trust No One But You is a good one. So there's another one that you must give a listen. Then we have The Gates of Underworld, Novaria. This one actually come up on Amazon for pre-order. Never heard of the band. It came up and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a copy of that, because it was in the Power and True for pre-order, and straight away I was like, I'm pre-ordering that like a shot, and I wasn't disappointed. Just from the artwork I thought I'm going to love that, and I've loved the album. So I'm not going to give away too much about the album, but if you haven't, give it a listen. If you have, tell me what your favourite songs are off that album, if you have actually gave it a listen. Then we have Chris Boltonder's Stillhammer, Reborn in Flames, which is the lead vocalist of the German heavy / speed / power metal band Gravedigger. This album I thought was pretty cool. I know you can get a box set version with various other stuff, so I wouldn't mind getting a copy, but the bonus track Beds Are Burning I thought was cool, but Fire Angel was my favourite track off this studio album. Then we have Secret Sphere, Blackened Heartbeat. Didn't mind the album, thought it was cool, thought it needs to give several more listens, but where was it? It was called Bloody Wednesday, which was my favourite track off that album. When you've got that many albums, I was saying to a friend, when you've got that many albums out, and you've got like 20 something albums, I said it's just trying to remember every song, trying to remember the albums and all that sort of stuff. But this next one is Ghost Town, which is brilliant, and that's by Narnia. So if you've not listened to them, you definitely need to give them a listen, especially the track Ghost Town, which I thought was awesome. A band that I do highly recommend. This one is not Power Symphonic. Just realised I should have done that one before I've done these, but this is, where is it? The album is Mirror to the Sky, which is from the UK progressive rock band Yes. I think this is like their 27th studio album or something like that. I love this album. I've not been able to stop playing this one, especially Mirror in the Sky, because it's on for 13 minutes and 55 seconds. And you know I love my long songs, especially my long prog / power / symphonic songs. And we've got Bleeding Gout, which is the brand new Within Temptation album. Now, I gave this a listen. At first I was like, it's okay, it's better than their last studio album, Resist, because I just couldn't get into that album. I've tried to get into it, I just couldn't get into it, but this album I thought was better than their last one. And I thought there's Wireless, Ritual, The Purge. I've listened to them before the album come out, because it was all over Spotify, and it's not too bad. It's better than their last studio album, but I didn't think it was better than their earlier stuff. Then we have Mystifica, Century Tales, another cracking album. Probably most people haven't heard of this band and don't know much about them, but I've unboxed this video on my YouTube channel if you want to check them out. So definitely give them a listen. You won't be disappointed. It's another one of my favourites of this year, especially the, where was it? It's When the Beauty Forms the Beast, and then there is From the Ancient Legends, which is a great song. Another great one if you like your love your power metal. Then we have The Hellish Joyride, The Unity. If you're a fan of Ed Guy and you like Eggy, I'm not sure how you pronounce his full name, but he's actually on this album and he's a part of this band, which is awesome. So, masterpiece. is a great track, but then there's a Hellish Joyride, but then you've got Awakening, which is a good one. But yeah, I need to get a copy of that on vinyl, so hopefully I can get a copy of that on vinyl. This is one more CD, and then I'll show you my album of the year. And this one is Mosaic. I'll probably butchered it, but I kept thinking it was Mosaic or something, but it's Mosaic. And this one is by the US progressive power metal band Theocracy, which is a brand new studio album. My good friend Stewie saw the artwork and said it reminds him of a church window pane or something like that, and something you have in a church, which I thought was cool. But when I told him they were Christian progressive power metal, it piqued his interest, and he said he liked it and he wouldn't mind getting a copy of the album. I love it, but when somebody said to me ages ago, you do realise they're progressive power metal, you do realise they're Christian, I said I'm not Christian at all, and I said it doesn't really bother me. If that's what their religion is, that's cool, it's up to them. But I kind of like the album, especially Sinsidious, The Dogs of War, but then there's Mosaic, but then there is a track in here called The Red Sea, which is a masterpiece. 19 minutes and 8 seconds, which for me it's not on long. It could have been on longer, but I love all the layers to the song. I love all the different parts to it, because that's what I love about songs that are long 10 to 20 minutes. You get all different parts, layers and stuff. When it's a song that's on like for 2 minutes and something, it's usually the song's over very quickly, and you know you have to give it like umpteen listens before you can actually appreciate the song. But next one, this is my album of the year. This album is a masterpiece. It's a debut studio album from the Southampton, I believe they're from Southampton in the UK, but power metal band Battleborn, and this one is Bloodfire, Magic and Steel. I've actually got both versions because I was greedy. I've seen them on this tour. It's incredible. They played quite a lot of this album. I would have loved to have heard Windcaller live because they didn't play it. I genuinely thought they were going to start the show with Windcaller, but then you've got my favourite off here, which is Dragon Heart. Oh, that song is just... But then there's Blood and Fire, Power Force. It's a great song. The only thing on here, there's a track called Meridia. It wasn't my least favourite song, so I've played it a few times, but most of the time I genuinely skip that song because it's just my least favourite. But then there's Daniel Drinks and Rageful Swords, which is more like a pirate themed song, which was cool. And then you've got Skies Guard You, Ride North, For Winter Hold, Firestorm, The Endless Grey, which if you haven't listened to that album, for a debut studio album, is brilliant. 3 times I've seen these. The first time I've seen them was at Bloodstock Open Air, and I were in support of their debut EP. Then the second time I've seen them was at Power Metal Quad Fest, and they played, before the album was released, they played the majority of this album with some of the couple of tracks off their EP, and I loved every moment of it. Absolutely fantastic album. This is certainly my album of the year. If you haven't listened to it, you need to give this one a listen. If you like your cheesy power metal, you like your dragons, wizards, all of that sort of stuff. And if you like Skyrim metal, they're dubbed as, which is absolutely fantastic. I've done a review on this album on my YouTube channel, and I've done unboxing video and stuff, so you've got to give this one a listen. So yeah, this has been my album of the year. It is a masterpiece. I know we've got loads of stuff coming out next year, and I absolutely cannot wait. There's too many albums that are coming out. I'm super excited for everything. All these bands that are releasing stuff, and bands are touring. So I'm going to be catching some bands for the first time. I'm actually doing Bloodstock again. So when I've got the available funds, I'm getting myself a Bloodstock ticket. Certainly going to see Power Metal Quest Fest. But at the moment, because I haven't bought as much because of lack of funds, I've just gone and bought myself an e-bike, and that cost me £400 or £500. So that will get me to and from work quicker, because it's usually costing me about £88 on the bus for the month. So getting to and from work on an e-bike is going to be brilliant. Save me a lot of money. Once I paid it all off, I'll have more funds to get to gigs and actually do more unboxing videos and everything. So yeah, this has been my album of the year, and all the stuff that I've actually had this year that's came out. So definitely check all them bands out. There's too many. I would put a link in the description for every band on that list, but it's going to take me forever. But if you just want to pause it, make notes of the band, and you want to give them a listen, All Power Slash Symphonic, and there's new bands you want to check out, definitely check them out. So I'll see you in the next video, which is going to be an unboxing video. So Viking Wizard signing off. So have a good one, and See you later.